Всем привет! I'm Anna Hope and welcome to Feel Russian channel, the place for everyone who wants to explore Russia. And in today's video, you and I will go to the Hermitage, the biggest museum in Russia. They say that it has over 3 million exhibits, and if you spend at least 1 minute in front of each exhibit, 8 hours a day, like the whole working day without any days off, you will need 11 years to see all. I don't want you guys to waste so much time in the museum. That's why in today's video I'll show you the exhibits that you must see while you're here and the masterpieces that you can miss by no means. Поехали! The museum is really huge. It consists of 9 different buildings located in the different parts of the city. The collection comprises over 3 million exhibits, including Egyptian and classical antiquities, Italian Renaissance, Dutch and Flemish art, German and British, and much, much more. I love Hermitage the most, and the tours here are absolutely my favorites, but if I have to choose only 10 exhibits to show you, I would definitely start it from the Jordan staircase. Jordan's staircase is the main staircase of the palace that met all foreign ministers and ambassadors coming to the royal receptions. The staircase itself is made of Italian marbles. The walls are decorated with gilded elements. In order to enlarge the space from one side, there are huge mirrors. From the other side, there are windows. The staircase is decorated with statues symbolizing different virtues of the Russian Empire. Right now, we are in the main room of the Winter Palace, and all official receptions took place here. Declarations of war, signing of the peace treaty, and you really feel the special atmosphere while you're here. The room is decorated with gilt and marble, double-headed eagles everywhere, and the floor is a real work of art. Without any doubts, Peacock clock of the Hermitage Museum is a must-see exhibit that you can't miss. This is a mechanical clock of the 18th century made by English clockmaster James Cox for Russian Empress Catherine the Great. The face of the clock is hidden in the mushroom, but the most surprising fact is this 200-year-old clock still works. I will leave for you the video to show how this peacock chimes and used to chime for the Russian Empress. After watching Peacock Clock, don't forget to look around to see all this beauty. Raphael Gallery is definitely a gem of the collection, despite it's a copy of a famous Raphael loggias in Vatican, decorated by Raphael and his students. Catherine the Great saw the depiction of the loggias in one of the albums, and she was amazed. Empress got a permission from the Pope and sent Russian artists to copy the loggias, and now we are all honored to see them in the Hermitage. you know that the art can make you tired. I'm just in the middle of the tour and I decided to have a break with a cup of coffee and a nice eclair from the Hermitage coffee. Now I want to share with you one of my favorite paintings that makes most of my tourists cry. One day I had a tourist of mine. He came to St. Petersburg for the International Economic Forum and he had some time for exploring the city. So we had a tour in the Hermitage Museum, and when I asked him from the very beginning which exhibit does he want to see in the museum, he told me that I want to see only one painting, and this is the Prodigal Son. So when we came to the Prodigal Son, he sat down in front of the painting and he was watching like half an hour at this painting. He told me numerous stories on the research he made about the painting, and like once he done, he just stood up and said, "This is enough." I mean, he said, "It seems to me I've seen everything that I want." He recommended me a very nice book in English to read about the Prodigal Son, and if you are interested, I will just leave the name of the book in the description box below. Just don't forget to check it. I can spend hours in front of this painting, you know, and this painting is not even about the explanation, it's about the feeling. What kind of feeling do you have looking at this man? Just pay attention at the details. Look at his hands full of wrinkles. Look at his face, his eyes. It seems like he's contemplating and thinking about his life. But he's not complaining at all. He's just looking back to the life he lived. Probably full of sorrows, full of up and downs. But this was his life. Now it's the time for the painting that surprises me the most, and I still can't stop thinking how the artist could do something like this in the 18th century. This is the reception of the French ambassador in Venice by Canaletto, and this painting is famous for the detailing composition. I mean, you can see the cloths, you can see the decoration of the gondolas, you can see the people's clothes, the doors barking, people talking to each other, each and every detail, and it really fascinates you. But this painting also has a trick. On the right hand side there is a palace of daughters, and if you look at the painting from this direction, you can have a feeling that the palace occupies approximately 20% of the painting. Now we are going to this side and we'll look at the painting from this angle. So you see, this is a magic trick. So the palace occupies 50% of the painting, and now we keep moving, but looking at the painting, the palace is rotating, the palace is moving, and now voila, it occupies only 10% of the entire painting. It amazes me all the time, and it amazes all the people that are looking at this painting. Now we are going back, and this is 20% again. I included in my list paintings, interiors, but we haven't seen the sculpture so far. Now this is the time for the most amazing sculpture, in my opinion, in the collection of the Hermitage Museum. This is the case of Cupid and Phyche by Antonio Canova, and in my opinion this painting is full of love, it's full of tenderness. Look at their movements, look at their bodies. I mean, for me this sculpture is kind of the symbol of love, the symbol of caring.
I found somebody, I say you don't cross my mind. And she doesn't know that your favorite place is still mine. Now I take the long way home, avoid what I can't let go. I don't always think about you, but sometimes I do, 'cause sometimes I drive.
We are going to the darkness, we are going to the hall dedicated to the art of ancient Egypt, and here is one of my favorite exhibits. I love showing to the kids because it always makes their eyes bright and sparkling, and the adults or kids too. So look, this is the mummy, and this is the mummy of the priest. Even the name of this priest was found. His name was Prodigal. This body is 3,000 years old and it's pretty well preserved. You see, this guy died very young, so he was about 30 years old, and even his teeth survived. So he was found buried in a numerous cloth, so around 500 cloth, in order to preserve his body from bacteria and air. So this whole window used to belong to this priest, to Hades, and all these sarcophagi used to belong to him. By the way, these vessels were used for the internal organs of the priests, and one of them was used for his brains. So sounds scary, I know. This is the box for keeping the vessels with his internal organs. Now it's the time for, I think, one of the coziest and the unique interiors of the Winter Palace is the library of Nicolas II. Unfortunately, most of the tourists miss this interior because it's out of the touristic route. But now, I'm sure if you watch this video and once in a life you have a chance to visit St. Petersburg, you won't miss it. And don't forget to check the info box, the description box below. I will leave the number of this room.
If I could, I'd be your man, hold you down the best I can.
I just, like by chance, came to the temporary exhibition of the Hermitage Museum, and it's dedicated to the medieval books, and I decided to include some of them as a bonus to this video, so I will show you the most interesting ones. I was surprised by this drawing, and this is the art of, I don't know how it's called in English, so Chiromantia, something like this, and this is the book of the 15th century. This is a book of the 15th century in Latin language, but look how beautiful it is, how it shines with gold. I think Martin Luther did a great job. Can you guess how many years has he been writing this book? And this book, like A War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I mean its size. I wanted to visit this entire exhibition because of this exhibit that interests me a lot. This is a Gutenberg Bible. This is the first Bible printed in Latin. It's decorated around 300 illustrations at the bottom, you see. And the illustrations like this is on each and every page. You already know that the Hermitage is so big that one day is not enough to see everything that the museum can offer you. That's why I think it's always a good idea to have a plan, to have a list of the certain things that you want to visit. And I hope my video was useful and helpful to you in making this list. Of course, a picture worth 1,000 words. And I just hope, I keep my fingers crossed for the world to open its borders as soon as possible for you to come and see all this beauty with your own eyes. And by the way, please let me know in the comments down below which exhibit did you like the most and which exhibit would you like to see with your own eyes. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Finally, I finished my filming after more than 3 hours, and now I'm just going back by the Jordan staircase, trying to imagine myself an honorable lady of the 19th century who is coming back home after one of the receptions in the Winter Palace after the ball, tired, drained, but satisfied.